Good afternoon, everyone. George Cavaligos for HFT Bonds. Wow, tough trade. No real dip last night. Quiet, really quiet in the early evening session. Not much happened out of Asia. I didn't think we'd see any selling really out of Asia. I think we could see a little bit tonight. We might get a little bit more two-way flow going, and there's some big economic data Sunday night out of China, their flash PMI data, which is kind of heavily watched by the markets here, so we could see some profit taking. It was funny, 99% of the day today, really was the rally on the data. You had to be long, I guess, coming in. Should have just grabbed him last night. I knew it was going higher, and I don't know, watched the hockey game and then went to bed early. And probably do the same tonight. We got a little blizzard thing coming tonight, Chicago. I'm going to have to fire up the snowblower when I get home here and get ready for tomorrow morning. Could be an interesting morning. I think, the last, 45 minutes of the trading session, we started to see some two-way flow. I don't know if guys taking a long weekend or what, but we did see some profit taking eventually, even though, the auction came off. We had a 30-year TIPS auction. I thought we'd see a dip going in, before the auction like we usually do, but we never did. Auction came off, and the market rallied and made new highs. And then we started seeing some selling. Real heavy volume up towards the, I guess 131.27 all the way up to, 131.29. Massive volume up around there, and it looked like the guys that had bought it yesterday or last night were just unwinding. Market got a little vulnerable. We traded all the way down to 131.23, and the bonds traded down to 143.22. We did meet some objectives. We met the weekly reversal objectives on the 10-year note for sure, and I think we met one of the reversal objectives at 144.06 in the bonds. There's another one at 144.13, so I don't want to get too crazy here, but especially tomorrow's Friday, I think we have the Michigan number, and then next week we start to get some real important stuff going next week. We've got an auction cycle, 2s, 5s, and 7s, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then we also have the Humphrey Hawkins testimony. I believe it's Tuesday and Wednesday. So that should be a very interesting situation too for the credit markets here. Watching equities, obviously we had finally a nice little rebound late in the day, and I think that helped prompt some of the selling in treasuries. We'll see what happens overnight. I'm going to be very flexible tonight. I think if we can get the 10 years down around 20 half, 21, I'd be a buyer. And on the upside against that 28 half, 29 half, which is where I'd say most of the actually 26 half, 27 was where most of the volume went through. So I trade the range. That's my plan overnight. I'm not going to fall in love with one side or the other here and just trade the ranges with fairly tight stops, I think, and look to see what comes tomorrow. Obviously, if we close up near these levels, we'll get some decent weekly closes. Obviously, no buy signals or anything like that, but you will have some, decent green candles on the weekly closes. So stay flexible, trade the range, watch equities. Not much kind of interest in the currency markets today, but I was impressed that gold and silver did come back off of their lows. Some interesting stuff going on there. I think they've been leading these markets for a while here, and if gold and silver have reached the limits of their corrective move down here, maybe the equities will get a little bit of a bounce. I do see on a very short-term equity chart, 5-wave structure down to this afternoon's lows. I think we get a choppy ABC rally back up. Maybe we can get all the way back up to that 1509 level again and see how the S&P can really work its way through the high volume area from yesterday. Well, all right, guys, have a great night. Let's hope we don't get too much snow tonight here in Chicago. We haven't had any this year. This is the first time I've had to really fire up the snowblower. I don't think people are going to be used to it, that's for sure. Have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow, hopefully.